The silent arrival. The first alarm rang on mining outpost Z78, a forgotten station on the galaxy's edge. Senior technician Vorak stared at his screen, rubbing his 4 eyes in disbelief. The ancient warning systems, dormant for 3 centuries, blazed with red alerts. "This can't be right," Vorak muttered, his scaled fingers dancing across the control panel. "These scanners haven't activated since." His words died as the master display lit up with a single message. Unauthorized warship TTTTED. Across the galaxy, similar alarms echoed through countless stations, ships, and planetary defense networks. The Great Warning System, installed after the legendary human-Thracian Wars, had awakened from its long slumber. On the bridge of the Krell Dominion's flagship, Admiral Zen studied the incoming data with growing concern. The unknown vessel moved through space with impossible precision, ignoring all standard shipping lanes and communication protocols. "Status report," Zen demanded, her chitinous armor clicking as she leaned forward. "Unknown configuration, Admiral," replied her tactical officer. "No registration, no transponder signals. The ship's energy signature doesn't match any known species." Zen's mandibles twitched nervously. "Size. Massive, Admiral. 3 times larger than our heaviest battlecruiser." The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. No civilization built warships that size anymore, not since the Great Armistice Treaty had limited military vessel tonnage. Light years away, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from 100 worlds gathered in the crystalline chamber, their voices rising in panic and speculation. "It must be the Void Wanderers returning," shouted the Proxian delegate. "Nonsense," countered Ambassador Thex of the Meridian Collective. "The readings show technology far beyond even their capabilities." High Chancellor Vera raised her tendrils for silence. "We need facts, not speculation. What do we know about this vessel?" The ancient archivist, a being whose species had witnessed the rise and fall of empires, rose slowly. His voice carried the weight of millennia. "There is a pattern in the energy signature," he said, consulting his neural archives. "Similar to records from before the Great Purge, when the humans still walked among us." The chamber erupted in chaos. Humans were a myth, a cautionary tale told to young species about the dangers of unchecked aggression and technological advancement. According to legend, they had vanished after their homeworld's destruction, taking their terrifying warships with them. "Impossible," shouted the Krell representative. "The humans were wiped out in the solar cataclysm." The archivist's eyes glowed softly. "Were they? Or did we simply assume their extinction when they disappeared from our records?" Meanwhile, Captain Lyra of the scouting vessel Star Whisper approached the mysterious warship. Her crew, the bravest pilots in the known galaxy, couldn't hide their fear. "Maintain distance," Lyra ordered, studying the behemoth through her viewport. The ship was unlike anything she'd seen. Angular, black as the void, with no visible weapons or engines. "Captain," her communications officer called out, "I'm detecting something. Not a transmission, more like a presence." "Explain." "The ship, it's aware of us. I can feel it watching." Lyra suppressed a shiver. "Open standard channels. Let's try to communicate." The attempt at contact yielded only silence. No response on any frequency, no acknowledgement of their presence. Yet the warship continued its steady course toward the galactic core. On outpost Z78, Vorak made a discovery that would change everything. Deep in the ancient warning systems archives, he found a file marked "Content in GNCYOMEJ." The file contained a single image, a symbol matching the one now visible on the warship's hull. Below it, a warning in a dozen dead languages. "Should they return, do not resist. Humanity remembers." The warship suddenly changed course, turning toward the nearest inhabited system. As it moved, sections of its hull began to shift and reconfigure. What had appeared to be a solid surface revealed itself as millions of nanomachines working in perfect synchronization. Admiral Zen watched in horror as weapons systems emerged from the ship's surface. Technology so advanced it made their own armaments look like primitive clubs. All ships, battle stations, she commanded. Prepare for. Her order was cut short as the warship emitted a pulse of energy. Every defensive system in the sector went offline simultaneously. Not destroyed, simply deactivated. In the council chambers, panic reached new heights. The archivist alone remained calm, accessing memories older than most civilizations. "I remember now," he whispered. "The humans didn't die. They retreated. They said they would return when the galaxy was ready." "Ready for what?" demanded Chancellor Vera. "For judgment." The warship stopped its advance and hung motionless in space. Then, for the first time, it transmitted a message. "Cryogenesis systems dies in Jiang. Human crew revival sequence INIT." Across the galaxy, billions held their breath. The legends were true. The humans had returned. Captain Lyra's ship detected life signs aboard the warship. Not artificial, but biological. Human biosignatures, preserved in stasis for centuries, now awakening. "How many?" she asked her science officer. "Just one, Captain. But the energy readings, this isn't just a person waking up. The entire ship is coming alive with them." In the depths of the warship, ancient systems hummed to life. Lights flickered on in corridors that had known only darkness for generations, and in a central chamber, a stasis pod opened with a hiss of pressurized gas. A figure sat up slowly, muscles stiff from centuries of sleep. Human eyes opened, adjusting to the light, taking in surroundings both familiar and alien. On the pod's display, a simple message blinked. "Welcome back, Commander. The mission continues." The galaxy watched and waited. After 300 years of peace built on the assumption of humanity's extinction, everything was about to change. Part 2. Awakening. Commander Elena Voss stepped from her stasis pod, her body protesting after 3 centuries of stillness. The ship's AI, designation Atlas, spoke in a voice both mechanical and strangely warm. "Physical rehabilitation protocols engage. Please remain still while nanites repair cellular damage." Elena felt a tingling sensation as microscopic machines worked through her bloodstream. Memories flooded back. Earth's final days, the Exodus plan, the desperate hope that somewhere, somehow, humanity would endure. "Status report," she commanded, her voice hoarse from disuse. "Current date, Galactic Standard Year 4127. Location, outer rim of the Krell Dominion. Ship integrity, 100%. Mission parameters, active. Elena's enhanced neural interface connected with the ship's systems. Data streams poured into her consciousness, 300 years of passive observation, recorded while she slept. "Show me what happened after we left." Holographic displays materialized around her. The galaxy had changed. New empires had risen, old ones had fallen. The species that had once threatened Earth now sat on a galactic council, playing at democracy while hoarding resources and oppressing lesser civilizations. "They think we're extinct," Elena murmured. "Correct, Commander. Operation Silent Dawn was successful. All traces of human survival were erased from galactic records." Elena walked to the command center, her strength returning with each step. The bridge came alive at her presence, systems responding to her neural commands. Outside, alien vessels maintained their distance. She could sense their fear, their confusion. "Good. Let them wonder." "Incoming transmission from the Galactic Council," Atlas reported. "Put it through." Chancellor Vera's image appeared, her tendrils writhing with barely controlled anxiety. "Unknown vessel, this is the Galactic Council. Identify yourself and state your intentions." Elena took a moment before responding. When she spoke, her voice carried the weight of centuries. This is Commander Elena Voss of the Earth ship Prometheus. We've returned to reclaim what was taken from us. The transmission erupted with multiple voices, questions, demands, threats. Elena cut them off with a gesture. 300 years ago, your predecessors bombarded Earth. You called it a preemptive strike against human aggression. We call it genocide. That was a different time, Vera stammered. The galaxy has changed. We've evolved beyond such violence. Have you? Elena accessed the ship's databanks. Atlas. Display current conflicts. Holographic projections filled the bridge. Border skirmishes, resource wars, systemic oppression of developing species. The council members fell silent. You haven't evolved, Elena continued. You've simply gotten better at hiding your nature. Admiral Zen's voice cut through the tension. If you've come for revenge, know that we will defend ourselves. Elena smiled coldly. Admiral, if we wanted revenge, you'd already be dead. Your weapons can't touch us. Your shields can't stop us. We've had 3 centuries to prepare. Then what do you want? Vera asked. Justice and change. In the council chambers, factions formed rapidly. The militant species advocated for immediate action, destroy the human ship before it could threaten their power. The pacifists urged negotiation. The pragmatists simply wanted to survive. The archivist spoke again. You don't understand. The humans were always different. They alone had the capacity for both terrible destruction and incredible creation. They left not because they were defeated, but because they chose to. Chose to what? Someone demanded. To give us a chance to prove we could be better. Aboard the Prometheus, Elena reviewed the mission parameters established centuries ago. Humanity hadn't spent 300 years in stasis out of fear. They'd been preparing, evolving, becoming something more. Atlas, begin Phase 2. The warship's configuration shifted again. What had appeared as weapons transformed into something else entirely, energy projectors of a kind the galaxy had never seen. Commander, Captain Lyra's voice came through on a private channel. What are you doing? Elena recognized the fear in the alien captain's voice, but also curiosity. Watch and learn, Captain. This is what humanity was always meant to be. The Prometheus released a wave of energy that spread across the sector. But instead of destruction, it brought revelation. Every ship, every station, every planetary defense system received a download, the complete history of humanity, unedited and unfiltered. They saw Earth's beauty before the bombardment. They witnessed human art, science, and culture. They experienced memories of human children playing, scientists discovering, artists creating, and they felt the pain of billions dying as alien weapons rained from the sky. We could have destroyed you all. Elena broadcast to the stunned galaxy. Instead, we chose to sleep, to wait, to hope that you might learn compassion on your own. The council chambers had gone silent. Even the most militant species struggled to process what they'd experienced. You failed our test, Elena continued, but we're offering a second chance. The Prometheus released another pulse. This time, it contained something extraordinary, technological and philosophical advances humanity had developed during their isolation. Solutions to resource scarcity, methods of peaceful conflict resolution, medical breakthroughs that could benefit all species. This is our gift, Elena declared. Use it wisely, or we will return again. And next time, we won't be so forgiving. Admiral Zen, who had been prepared to fight, slowly powered down her weapons. Why? She asked. Why offer this after what we did? Because that's what makes us human. We can choose to be better, and we're giving you the same choice. The archivist nodded slowly. The humans haven't returned as conquerors. They've returned as teachers. Elena set the Prometheus on a new course, away from the galactic core, back toward the rim. Where are you going? Chancellor Vera asked. To rebuild Earth. And to watch. Use our gifts to create a better galaxy, or face the consequences of squandering this opportunity. As the Prometheus departed, it left behind a changed galaxy. The knowledge humanity had shared couldn't be unlearned. The memories couldn't be erased. Some species immediately began implementing the new technologies. Others resisted, clinging to old ways. But all knew that somewhere in the dark between stars, humanity watched and waited. In her command chair, Alina allowed herself a moment of hope. Perhaps this time, the galaxy would choose wisely. Atlas, set course for home. Course laid in, Commander. Welcome back to the stars. The Prometheus vanished into the void, leaving behind a galaxy forever altered by the return of its most paradoxical species, capable of both ultimate destruction and infinite compassion. Humanity had returned, not with vengeance, but with a mirror held up to the galaxy's soul. The question now was, what would the galaxy see in its reflection?